Hey everybody, today I'm going to be doing a review for a vendor called 21st Century Smoke. It's the Vapin Plus Liquid Vaporizer Pen, okay? And this is basically just an Ego battery, okay? And it's got what looks to be kind of like a T3 atomizer on top of it. However, it's quite a bit different. I'm going to go ahead and take some pictures of this so I can get some better close-ups just to kind of show you guys what I'm talking about.
Three, two, one.
First, what we need to do, we need to get our Napoleon Dynamite saying for the video. So here we go.
No, freaking start. I didn't get to eat anything today.
Okay, there we go. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, here is what it looks like as a setup. Here is what it comes in. Also comes with the USB charger, and it's just like any other Ego charger. You screw the battery connector in right here, and you can plug it in USB or buy a wall adapter. Okay, it has a lot of helpful information on the back, and basically I'm just going to go over the bullet points, the battery functions, how to charge the battery, how to lock the battery. Gives you the specs. This is 650 milliamp hours. They expect that you're going to get 300 charges out of this. It is warranted for 9 months. Okay, now obviously that warranty doesn't cover if you run it over or throw it across the room. Okay, but they do have a really good customer service, and I can attest to that personally. Okay, so let's see here. They tell you the safety feature. Basically, if the button is activated for 10 seconds, it will shut off. Okay, to prevent it from going off in your pocket over and over again. A lot of e-cigarettes just reset, so then it will do it all over again. Okay, so you get that idea of the safety feature there. It will actually shut the unit off entirely. They tell you how to fill the tank and how to use it, and then there's some warnings there. This actually has batch numbers and a manufacturing date on it, so pretty cool. I really like 21st Century Smoke products. I did like the Black Label disposable, but the other two disposables they have, the menthol and the regular, I didn't like. But I did like their regular mini cigarettes in tobacco and menthol flavor. So, you know, those are just different, and they were different in a way that I didn't like the two disposable ones. But that's okay. I like enough of their products that I could recommend them. So here she is. The T3 Type Atomizer. It's a bottom coil, and it has a clear window inside where the air channel is, which is kind of neat. Okay, this thing has the 3-click on and off, and it has a nice light down in here. Okay, it says Vapin Plus here, and also it says Vapin Plus down here at the bottom. And when you push the button 3 times, flashes 3 times to let you know that it's on. And as you can tell, the light, you can see it from the bottom and you can see it from the side. So that's really neat. I like that feature about this battery here. Let me show you, get into the vapor production. The e-liquid that I'm using in here is also from 21st Century Smoke, and they don't, it's a proprietary blend, so they don't list the VG-PG mix, but this one here is peach. I'm going to tell you it's pretty watery, so it was probably really high on PG. And what does PG do? PG brings out the flavor in the juice, and I love peaches, okay, and the peach juice is no exception to the rule. The peach flavor is just in your face awesomeness, okay. I love it. It's too bad that they don't make juice with more VG in it, otherwise I would probably have to add this to one of my favorites. Okay, so here it is. This is the Ego battery with the T3 and their peach juice. Now, being that it's high on PG, you're not going to get a whole lot of vapor production, but the flavor is going to be there, like I was saying. But for me, high PG is going to give me heartburn, and if I vape it even longer, it's going to just kind of make my chest hurt. It's going to make it kind of harder to breathe. So it's just a reaction that I personally have with higher PG juices, and that's just too bad because this juice is kicking. Okay, so what am I going to say about this? The battery life is good for 650 milliamp hours, but if this is all that you have, you're going to have two. When you leave the house, your battery's going to die. Okay. And it's just like a smoker. A smoker always had a spare pack of cigarettes, or always had money to buy another pack of cigarettes when they were out and about. Okay, so nothing has changed there with this setup here. Okay, as far as the liquid goes, you're probably going to need to fill this thing about 4 times a day. Okay, which isn't a whole lot because it's kind of small as far as how much it holds. It holds about 2 milliliters, even though it says 2.5. It is bottom coil, so you have to turn it upside down to fill it, and it's pretty darn close. Actually, you know what? I'm wrong. You can fill it up to about 2.25 milliliters. So you don't want to go any higher than that because it'll overflow and get into the air chamber. So be real careful with that. And like I said, there is directions on the back of the package, so really cool. It was nice of them to make sure that all bases were covered for a new vapor. So if you get this, just go ahead and get 2 of them. The cost of this is $24.99. If you added another penny, then you get free shipping. Okay, so $25 and up, you get free shipping. Alright, as far as the atomizer goes, it has 2 holes right here, one on either side. The draw is pretty tight with this atomizer, or I should probably call it a clearomizer. Sorry, I don't mean to confuse anybody with that. Clearomizer, okay? This is like a T3 clearomizer. As far as like how I like it, how does it vape? It vapes well. It is not anything that I would call a game changer, okay? It's just sort of average. And it does have some of those bottom coil issues. Okay, and one of the issues is gurgling. Every now and then you can see in the air chamber where there will be some liquid that builds up in there from condensation. And when that happens, it will gurgle. Okay, it doesn't leak per se near as much as some of the other T3s, MT3s, T3Ss. Okay, those things seem to leak a little bit more than this, and I've had this for about a month now. Okay, so I have used it sporadically throughout the month, and I haven't noticed a lot of leaking, which is great, you know. But the gurgling, a way to fix the gurgling, if you're hard up, you can take some tissue, you can unscrew this and blow into a rag. Now just kind of like swab it up in there and kind of dry it off so that it's not clogging up the hole in there, and that's where your airflow goes through. Okay. Another thing I would recommend is when you're doing a fill up and you notice a lot of juice in there, there's like a little spike looking thing in there, and right now it's not over the top of the spike, and if you had one of these you'll see what I mean. But when it does get over the spike, it will start to feel a little bit wet, but right now it's not. Instead right now it'll just gurgle. Okay, so when you're going to refill it, just go ahead and take it apart and wash it out and just start new if that happens to you. I've only had to do that one time, and so as you can tell, it's really pretty much almost minimal fuss basically. Okay, so as far as the MT3 goes, or the T3, I would probably say that I like this better as far as not having to fiddle with it as much, not having as much flooding. But as far as the vapor production goes, it's not quite there. Okay, and that's dependent on the build. I mean, they're made in a factory, they're mass produced, So, you know, that's that, and not everything's going to be exactly the same. I can just do my best with the product that I have in hand. Okay, so that's something that I don't really like about this, is basically just the inherent bottom coil issues. Okay, so that's pretty much all across the board. I myself personally haven't run across a bottom coil that didn't frustrate me at times. Okay, so keep that in mind, that those things might happen, and hopefully the advice that I'm giving today will be able to help you to rectify that situation. Okay, so the battery itself is a good battery. I mean, it's just a battery. There's not a whole lot that you can say about it. You know, it has a switch. That's going to lead me to the only negative I have with the battery. The negative that I have is that this is kind of like a rubber band around here, and it has this little edge right here where it shows power, a power sign, and a lot of times I have a hard time hitting that just right. Okay, and then I also at times will want to try to use the edge of my fingernail to activate it. Now if you're doing that all throughout the day, it's gonna get old. Okay, and then also if you're just trying to use your finger, you're gonna have a lot of times where you think you're gonna push the button, but you're not really pushing the button. Now this thing does have a click, so it does have a positive engagement, so you know when you're actually firing it or when you're not firing it. Okay, when you're not in the right place. So what does that do? Basically, a lot of times I'm vaping and I realize that it's not working right away, and so then I have to look and find that little power thing, that little emboss in the rubber, and I have to just reposition my finger so that it's right there on the fire button. So for right now, that's going to do it for this review on the Ego and T3 type Clearomizer from 21st Century Smoke. Thanks for watching.